there was a business jet that crashed on I-75 near Naples, Florida. And I'm glad, Daniel, this is perfect because you've done a lot of obviously law enforcement rescue operations in your career. And I want you to listen as this goes on. There's a call sign that comes up. I think it's called Shadow 4. And it's interesting that. So we're going to listen to the audio, but the backstory is, I mean, from what we know, obviously there's always going to be an investigation. We're going to wait for that because we're not going to speculate on what happened. But it's a business jet with 2 pilots and I think 3 passengers. And they're coming into land near Naples and dual engine Flameout. And they end up landing kind of perpendicular. We're not going to show that video because it's kind of graphic, but they end up kind of trying to align with the interstate and then kind of perpendicular, and they hit the noise barrier, you know, the big wall. And so they hit that head on, which obviously ends up making it fatal for the pilots. But by the grace of God, the passengers got out, which is amazing to me. And thanks to Vast Aviation, that's where we're getting this to do the breakdown.
Hopajet 823 is with you on a right downwind for a 5-mile final, runway 23.
Hopajet 823, roger, make the right.
So here, I mean, they're coming in on a downwind, and they're going to make the 5-mile final to turn back to the airport here. But they're coming in to do at this point. I don't hear any indication. No one's talked about that they know there's a known issue, there's anything going on. It's basically just, you know, business as usual.
Turn back towards the airport. At least 1 departure ahead. Challenger jet. Runway 23, clear to land. Wind 22012, gust 16.
All right, Challenger jet departing. We're turning back towards the airport and clear to land. Runway 23, Hopajet 823.
Everything sounds normal at this point.
Taxi 574, runway 23, turn right heading 270, clear for takeoff, traffic 3-mile final, Challenger jet.
Question 574. Okay, Challenger, Hopajet 823, lost both engines, emergency. I'm making an emergency landing.
Got the emergency, clear to land, runway 23.
You hear him basically let him know, this guy sounds cool as a cucumber. If I didn't know, you know, the outcome, or if I didn't hear it, this guy just sounds like, yeah, we got, you know, we're clear to land. Like, there's not a single ounce of panic or urgency or anything. He's just letting you know, I'm just letting you know what's about to happen. Aviate, navigate, communicate. It's good. And I have a question. You got, Daniel, are you familiar with Naples at all?
No.
Okay. Because I think this is you hear FlexJet and you hear Hopajet. It sounds like it's a lot of business jets, right? It's a lot of traffic of, you know, these small business jet kind of thing. All right, continue, Doug.
Is that Hopajet 823?
We're clear to land, but we're not going to make the runway. We've lost both engines.
Sounds cool as a cucumber.
Wow.
I mean, just
drop Flexjet 574 to hold short.
Good.
Tower Shadow 5, where they at?
Stop.
Shadow 5, there are 2 northwest right over.
You got to be. So a couple things we notice here. FlexJet has the situational awareness. Gonky, you've talked about that, about listening up and having the situational awareness to know, hey, there's something going on. I'm not going to take the runway because this is an emergency in progress. Even though there's no mayday or declared emergency, everybody knows that things are going bad. But Shadow 5, this is the first call. Dude, that's pretty clutch. Immediately you hear him key up and go, hey, where's he at? Because he knows he's about to go to work. Daniel, can you talk to that a little bit? I mean, is that, do you know who's Shadow? I think that's the sheriff rescue.
Yeah. I saw one video where it showed it was the sheriff. It was a Huey.
Okay.
So yeah, they may have been out on surveillance is what because I've been in situations like this outside of Houston Intercontinental, where we're flying right off the departure end, doing a surveillance, and I've got to monitor all the radios, the guys on the ground doing the surveillance or doing the warrant or whatever, and then the air traffic control coming up. So that you got to know where everybody's at. because and that's what it sounds like to me, is that he heard it, he's watching it, and other than that, the video I saw, he was coming up right on the burning aircraft, and which is what I would have done too. It's like, man, if there's anything we can do to land right there, and anything, to help.
So is that what you're thinking at this point? As soon as you hear this, you're like, hey, I need to go be the on-scene commander at this point?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever you can do. And that was even with law enforcement and all. It's whatever you can do. It's a fellow aviator,
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. Go ahead and keep playing, Doug.
For I-75, Hopajet 823.
He doesn't know. I mean, what do you even
Everybody
say?
stand by. There's an alert 3 in progress. Everybody stand by.
Tower Shadow 5 rescue helicopter request to go to the station.
Shadow 5, proceed direct as requested. Hopajet 574, Naples, runway 23, turn right heading 270. Clear for takeoff.
Inflection 574. Departure heading is 270, clear for takeoff runway 23.
Dude, I don't know if I.
Hey, Tower Shadow Foxtrot Charlie, we've been orbiting out here to the east. Wait instructions.
That's 71 Foxtrot Charlie. You can continue inbound for midfield left down on runway 23.
Midfield left down 123, 71 Foxtrot Charlie.
Yeah. Obviously, it sucks. I mean, we lost 2 aviators, and that's terrible. And the fact that they remain calm throughout this is a testament to their professionalism. Like, I think you'll, whatever the outcome of the NTSB report, which is going to take a while, but if this is going to happen, I mean, it looked like they actually were about to have a very survivable landing too, if it weren't for the way they, that 90-degree thing. But Daniel, going back to the Shadow 5 thing, because it was just interesting to me. He didn't see it happen because he's like, where is it? But the first thing he's out there doing is like, I'm going to go and help this guy out. How does that affect you just as a pilot to know that this happens? Are you just go time? Let's just figure out how we can do this.
Yeah. It's whatever you can do right at that moment. The mission that you were on, that's just gone to the back burner. You're headed right there to do whatever you can, along with, like you said, on-scene commander, and that's letting the tower know that, hey, the smoke's, the aircraft's on the ground on fire, and a location. Everybody's gonna be calling on 911 anyway, the location. But it's kudos to those pilots.
Now, are you, I guess since you've got law enforcement radios on board, especially being a sheriff, not in your case, but in general. So are you then relaying back to dispatch, like, hey, here's what we got, mass casualty event, the I-75 shut down, et cetera?
Yeah.
Are you assessing it?
Yeah, we assess it real quick and just say, look, I'm going to have to get off the radio with you. I'm just telling you what's going on. And then getting back with ATC and having them, on-scene command with just the people that are there.
Yeah.
The radios that we had, like I said, doing a surveillance or warrants, whatever, it was ATC radio, the agent's radio, the camera operator, what he's telling me. And then if I had an observer in the back seat, he's helping me watch on the ground what he's saying. So everybody's talking at the same time. Yeah, it's so for that Shadow to sit there and, well, I guess everybody on the radio knew somebody just crashed. Everybody got off the radio. And he took charge right there.
Good for him.
Daniel, is it ultimately Highway Patrol in this case that would I guess assume the final on-scene commander, because the airplane crashed off of airport property, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Obviously,
It's
highway.
Yeah, it's whatever the fire department or the highway patrol, sheriff, whoever has jurisdiction of that spot right there. It's I'm not saying treat it like a normal car crash, but you treat it like a car crash until NTSB, the FAA, on-scene commander has to take charge of it and secure the crash site for the FAA and the NTSB.
Wow.
Gonky, you're the Flexjet guy or the Cessna and the Pattern. Are you going flying?
The flex jet getting ready to take off. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
if, I guess that if you saw it,
Right.
versus what you heard,
right.
that happened when I first started at the airline. I think there was a crash in Cuba, like a Havana crash. Remember that? It was like a 737 or something. And our airline guys witnessed it, and they said, I can't fly, because watching something like that is, especially as a pilot, it's horrific.
Well, it's going to consume your thoughts and minds, right? So you can't focus on the job at hand, which, could I take off and do the flight? Yes. But the question is, should I? You know, is 50% of my brain power going to be enough today? But that's not acceptable, right? When you're carrying, children and families and stuff, right? So, and I don't think anybody is, hey, I just saw a couple of guys die in a fiery crash. I'm not fit to fly. No one, no one is going to say, no. So
it's amazing those passengers got out. There's video of the passengers going out right before the thing erupts, which massive fire, right? So a lot of concerns there, but the passengers got out and survived. And I think the article said they got out through like the luggage door. Like they crawled out, and like there wasn't a door. There was just a small door that they got out, which I'm not familiar with that aircraft, so I don't know. But
yeah, I was going to say, because the Challenger, the normal door is up near the front, right behind the cockpit for the most part. So yeah, when it shows them running away from the aircraft, it's near the back, but the way the camera was, did they come out of the luggage? I don't know if you can get out of the luggage on that thing. If you can even open it from the inside.
Who knows? It's probably broke apart,
Yeah, I think you can. But I remember reading something about they got through a luggage door, so a small compartment door. But good on them.
I mean, during combat ops, it's different. But during training and peacetime, we had a couple guys get killed in an accident in my squadron, and that it's pretty normal to do like a safety stand down, just because everybody across the board, even the maintainers, they're scratching their heads. Did I do something? Did I, the plane captain, or the crew chief that sent the airplane off. I mean, there's just all kinds of Swiss cheese that can line up if you don't just pause for a minute.
Not to lay blame on the FlexJet guys. I'm not saying
no.
I'm just saying put yourself.
They may not have
seen
it.
Right. I put myself in those shoes, just like the Cessna guy that's been orbiting, and he probably saw the whole thing. That Cessna guy probably witnessed it. Because I don't think Shadow 4 or 5 or whoever, I don't think the rescue guys saw it because they had to get vectored to it. But it's likely a Cessna that's orbiting probably saw it. And they came up and said, hey, we're alert 3 or whatever, so we've got rescue operations going on. So everybody knows something bad has just happened.
Yeah. And in a transport category airplane, unless it's right in front of you, the view's not that good. Like, obviously past the 3-9 line. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to wait for the report. Dual engine flameout is so rare. I mean, especially with fuel.
Unbelievably rare. Yeah. Sullenberger, that's the only other dual engine of a transport category aircraft. Man, that just
Yeah.
I mean, clearly there are no indications because they were probably at their normal altitudes, right? I mean, if you're like, man, we might flame both of these out, you're probably going to hang on to some altitude, for glide and whatnot. But these guys were just,
and they were probably already configured.
Yeah.
So you already have all that drag. You got what you got. You're almost like Daniel. It's almost like a helicopter. You're in an auto rotation at that point. It's
right there.
Yeah. You're picking a spot, and dude, it's just terrible.